Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very interesting case and I am going to have to actually read this letter because it is so detailed and I don't want to leave out anything. So I'm going to read it straight so you can exactly get the gist of what is said and see what my response is. Okay, here goes. I am 40 years old and my wife is 41. We have been married for 2 years, but have been together for 4. She can be the sweetest person at times, but at other times, she can be quite irritable and uncooperative. Most of our arguments stem from the fact that I like to go out and drink with my buddies and have a game of dominoes occasionally. And though I might get a little bit tipsy, I never get drunk. Whenever I do this and come home, she is always arguing with me, especially if I come home after midnight. Sometimes she even ignores me for a day or two. Even worse than that, whenever she is in that phase, she does not let me touch her, nor will she fix my breakfast, nor look after my clothes the next morning. At such times, I have to drive over to my mother to have breakfast and for her to fix my clothes for work. Xavier, this is so unfair. My mother is in her 60s and is a diabetic. She should not be going through this pressure when I am living with a wife. I work hard and provide for her with a great standard of living, though she has her own career. In other words, I look after my house. I deserve to be given more respect at home. I do love my wife and hope we could work through the differences. What do you think I ought to do to make her understand that I have my friends before I met her and that she cannot expect me to give them up? Also, how do I get her to understand that my drinking doesn't mean that I love her any less? I just want to be treated like a man in my own house. And this is LK from Middlesex, England. Well, LK, there are several things to unpack here. First of all is your drinking and you're staying out late with your friends. Then there's also your inability to do basic things for your personal needs, take care of your personal basic needs. Then there is your mother's health and the pressure you are placing on her. And then there's your wife's behavior. Now, let me address your wife's behavior first of all. First of all, I don't think it's right for a woman, even if she's upset with her husband, to withhold basic duties that she needs to do for her husband. I don't think that's really right. But having said that, I think I can understand what this lady has been going through because probably she has been going through it. I don't think she got up from day one and started doing this. I think she's now applying this pressure at this stage because you have not decided to change your ways. You see? So I think you have taken it to the point where she feels totally hopeless and is at that stage where she is not caring anymore. Anyway, the next thing is you said you drink but you only get tipsy but you don't get drunk. I don't understand well, you saying tipsy, you are using your own definition and is probably using a euphemism for something else. Because no man is going to say, oh, I get drunk and I come home and that stuff and I lay down on the ground and pee myself, whatever. So I don't know, but somehow I think it may be a bit more than you being tipsy. But, you know, that could be true. And also, you're coming home late and being out with your friends and coming home late. You have to understand one thing, you know. So, brethren, so when you get married, it's a different ball game. You can't be married and at the same time while being married, you're out spending time with your friends. According to you, occasionally. I don't know what occasionally mean, but somehow I don't think it means you are out there once a month or twice a month. I don't know what occasionally means, but occasionally for you could be every other night, or every weekend. And that would be really too much. Because you see, when a man gets married, it is time for him to not only leave his mother and cling to his wife, he should leave his friends and cling to his wife. Now, I don't mean give up your friends totally, but remember, no, you have to put them in their contexts. Here is what. You see, when you marry a woman, there are certain things she's looking for. She's looking for affection. She's looking for companionship. Not just affection, but companionship. The reason why a woman marry a man is not because he can work and provide and pay the bills or to maybe copulate with. She's looking for somebody who is going to curl up on the settee beside her and watch TV with her. She's looking at somebody when she come home, he's going to rub her ankle, rub her shoulders, rub anywhere that hurts on her body, massage, go get the liniment or whatever, and massage any aches and pains she have. Maybe even several times a week, maybe even every night. And even if nowhere is hurting her, it's your duty to put her foot in your lap and massage them virtually, if every night if possible, but as often as required. That's your duty as a husband. And your duty as a husband can't be to leave she sitting there doing all the housework, preparing the dinner, coming from work, doing everything that's to be done, and then she just go sleep on her own. No, that is the way you are behaving. You are behaving like a single man. And you are not a single man, you are a married man. And therefore your wife needs to see you in the house basically virtually every single night, unless you work nights. That's your duty. You are carrying on the same activities that you did in your bachelor life, and you have carried over all of that into your married life, and that's not gonna work. And the lady is fed up now. She wants to see you in the house. She wants to see you there. She's washing the dishes and you are drying them, or she is fixing something. She's mopping the floor and you are doing something else in the house. But hold on. Having said that, let me go some more. You state that she sometime in the morning don't fix your breakfast, and you go over your mother's house to go have breakfast. So hold on. Stop one cotton picking minute. You mean you can't fry 2 eggs and fix bread for yourself? Really? That you have to go over your mother to get that done? Oh my God. Well, listen, let me tell you something. You are worried. You claim that you are worried over your mother's health because she's diabetic and she have to get up and be fixing your breakfast in the mornings. Well, obviously, your wife fixes dinner in the evenings. So you don't have a problem with dinner because she fixes dinner, because you didn't mention that. So I'm assuming she does when she comes in the evenings. But after you have had a night out with your escapades and come in late, she does not fix your breakfast next morning, nor iron your shirt or whatever. I think that's what you're really saying. So you go over your mother for breakfast. You know what I think you ought to do? You're worried over your mother's health, but I think you should, when you go over your mother, you should just stay there. You shouldn't come back over to this woman's life. I don't think your marriage is going to last, because I don't see where you think you have done anything wrong. And you're only going to make this woman more and more miserable, because you're very selfish, which I find about Bafan men. Men who cannot cook or can't do anything in the house are generally very self-centered, and think the woman is just there for their own private, as their own little private help. Now, when you go over your mother, whether you're worried about her health or not, you're supposed to put the pressure on her. Your mother's supposed to fix your breakfast, your mother's supposed to fix your lunch, and your mother's supposed to fix your dinner. I do not really care much about her health. You know the reason why? Here's what. She made you what you are. You are totally helpless, and apparently you're a mother's boy, and you grew up with mommy, and mommy hands and glove you and pet and powder you, and you never actually metamorphosized into a man. You just never grew up. You never grew up, right? And now at the age of 40, as far as I'm concerned, you're a 40-year-old baby. You understand me? Because you're 40. You never mentioned kids, so I don't know if you have got kids, but God forbid. Because at your age, and you have to go over to your mother for her to make you breakfast. Sometimes I wonder if this is a real letter or somebody trying to jive me. But then again, you're because you're just like a spoiled child. When you go over your mother, I would suggest you try to live with her, stay with her, because believe me, it doesn't even make sense you move on and go find somebody else. Because I don't think in your life anybody will ever be comfortable with you ignoring them for your male friends, and neglecting them and think of them as your housekeeper. You don't want a wife, you want a housekeeper. And you can get a housekeeper without having to marry one. And apparently this woman is a woman with a career. So I would simply suggest, sir, that you stop making other women's life miserable. If you really love your mother, learn to do things. Learn to do things for yourself so you can go over and cook for your mother. Because I don't know if she lives alone, but you need to go over there and do things for your mother. But it ain't gonna happen, because if at your age, she turn you out of her house as a total baffan handicap, then I just don't see her changing or letting you even go ever make a sandwich for yourself. I just don't see her allowing that. So I just can't see where this relationship, your relationship with this woman, is going to work. It will never work. Your relationship is not going to work with any woman. Get yourself a helper, and just try and see if you can go through the rest of your life that way. And God forbid the day your mother's eyes close. Because the day her eyes close, believe me, and you don't have her around to pick up these little things after you, you are going to be in real trouble. And well, I ought to mention, but I don't think at this stage I need to. But since she wake up in the morning and she don't make your breakfast, and she sort of ignores certain of your personal needs, that means she lock shop on you too. In other words, she not giving you any kitten when you misbehave like that. And you don't deserve no kitten. Neither from she, nor from any woman out there. Anyway, so I'm sorry if this advice is not up to is not what you were looking for, because I would never, ever tell any woman to ever stay with a man such as yourself. You're a baby. Your mother make you into a baby. She deserves to have you. She deserves to work the rest of her soul case at the rest of her life looking after and caring for you, because she made you what you are. Yeah? So that's my advice on that. And I hope you can find some solace in what I've just said. Yeah? This is Xavier. Thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I have more juicy stories coming up very shortly.